How about talking about 11 pain points that I came up with that could be slowing down your practice? All right, I made a list of 11 pain points that could be slowing down your practice. And I like to talk a lot about growth nowadays because, we're through COVID and it's time to grow. It's time to get big and have the practice of your dreams, whatever that is. So the first one that I thought I would take up, and this is in no particular order, it's just 11 points in any order whatsoever. So number one that's on my list is confirms. This is a pain point because staff are not trained on how to do confirms when people are going, well, I don't know, and they're trying to get out of their appointment and so on. They do their best. Staff are amazing at the front end that they are like working it, but they don't always have all the training that they need in order to pull it off. And doing confirms is very important because, patients don't show up these days unless they're reminded. It's just become a fact of life. Thank God most of the software that you get for your practice includes an automatic texting or emailing system for reminding people, right? These are tools that save so much time for your staff. But this allows you to get more confirms done in a shorter amount of time. Now, number two pain point, having upset patients. Remember I said this is not in any particular order. So upset patients, where they're really loud at reception. I really was upset with blah, 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 or I hate this bill you gave me, or whatever. You need to have a staff trained on how to handle those and contain it and move it off the front desk if possible into a quiet room where we can talk properly about this because I am interested in what you have to say, Mr. Jones. And so this is something that you could do some training with staff after hours, working out how to be an upset patient and what they could do about it. All right, next one is the cracks in your practice. You actually, in the scheduling aspects of your practice, you can have cracks. Like for some professions, you have to send away to get insurance authorizations. And so you can't book the appointment because you don't know when it's going to come back and so on. So you have to make sure that you have systems in place that you don't lose patients through the cracks. Sometimes they phone up and they say, oh, I can't keep my appointment. I'm going away on holidays. I'll call you when I get back. And the staff just let that happen as opposed to making the appointment for when they come back. And so they don't have an appointment and there's no record anywhere following up on that person. So make sure you have systems for that. Another crack in your practice, or another pain point, let's call it a pain point, is being overbooked, where a new patient can't get an appointment for a week or two. This is not good, or there's no room for emergencies, etc., etc. So these are really small but add up to a lot of pain for the practice growth. So, handling that, you may be overdue for an associate. Honestly, that could be the biggest problem of all, is you're overdue for an associate and you need to get one. And then that will allow the schedule to open up. One of our clients has a 500-person waiting list right now. And because they only have 3 doctors and they want to get one more in, but they can't due to many problems. And so and it's not hiring the right person. They've got the right person, but there's no parking space for any patients more than what they're dealing with. Weird problems. Treatment presentations is another pain point because in school they didn't teach you how to get a patient to go ahead with ideal care. And so again, we spend a lot of time. We have a sales workshop that we do with our clients and their staff so that they get trained on how to get patients to want the proper treatment. You're not trying to sell them the Brooklyn Bridge or ice cubes to Eskimos. You're trying to get them to stay healthy and so on. So quality control. In most practices, there's no person who's in charge of quality control. And when you get a complaint or something like that, who sits down with the person who got complained of and works with them on how to keep that from happening again, what they could say next time, etc., etc. So having a quality control before the patient walks out the door, it's often reception is the best person because they are the ones sitting there and they are the ones that look at the patient while they're paying their bill and go, this is not right. They don't look very happy. How's it going, Mrs. Jones? And find out, how did it go today? Was there anything we could do better or improve upon? We're always looking for ways to get better at our service. And then find out. Really want to know, and then find out, and then handle it. Maybe the doctor needs to make a call after hours or something like that. Cancellation policy. People often don't have a cancellation policy, or they have one, but it's not enforced. And that's a big mistake, and that's a pain point for sure. You can have people not showing up with no notice or anything, and so you have gaps in your days, and that's your penalty for not having a cancellation policy. Another one, and again, not in any particular order, but maybe you've lost your love for your practice. There's so much bad stuff happening lately, and the bank's bugging you, and the insurance wants to make you pay tons more for something. I don't know, you have a staff member or 2 or 3 off sick. Last week we had 3 off sick. And the week before that, we had 3 off sick also, 3 different ones. It's crazy. And so you can lose your love for your business because it's all too much. It's overwhelming, frustrating, etc. So have a look at what the pain points are. Make a list of them for your practice and get those handled so you love your practice again. So you love coming in the morning. I could say much more on that one, but let's just take it that far. Understaffed. You know, you can be understaffed and lose patients like crazy. It's a pain point. You pay all this money for advertising, and you work so hard at, getting patients to refer and do Google reviews and do your social media, have your perfect website and all that kind of stuff. And then you're understaffed, so when the people phone in, they hit an overloaded receptionist who doesn't have time to talk to them and turn them into a new patient by building a relationship with them. There you go. It's another one. No management time. Second to last one on my list. No management time. If you don't have some management time each week to sit down and take up these issues and work out how to move your practice forward into a higher level, then, it's not going to happen. And then the very last one is no management training. This is probably the underlying reason for any of those things, because that's what we do, is we train our clients on management skills, how to be a boss, how to give orders, how to delegate, how to be a leader, how to manage by your key statistics on a weekly and monthly basis. That makes a huge difference in the rate of growth of a practice. And, I could go on and on. Sales training, how to strategize your growth, people skills. We have some really cool little courses. We do consulting one-on-one because this is what they didn't teach you in school. So fortunately, we exist. So if you haven't had your management training yet, give us a call and see what we have to offer. Maybe it'll help. So thank you for listening today, and see you again soon. Bye.
To get your practice analyzed, contact the Art of Management at 416-466-6217.